The Charlie Kirk case has gripped the world, transforming a tragic public execution into a sprawling digital battlefield where truth, doubt, and conspiracy collide. On September 10th at Utah Valley University, Charlie Kirk, the fiery conservative founder of Turning Point USA, was killed by a single shot during a live-streamed event. The moment, captured on thousands of phones, spread like wildfire across social media until the feed abruptly faded to black. The official narrative points to Tyler James Robinson, a 22-year-old former STEM student from St. George, Utah, as the lone gunman. But the story's polished edges, riddled with inconsistencies, have fueled a global outcry for answers. If you seek justice for Charlie Kirk, stay until the end and leave a comment with hashtag #WeWantJustice for Charlie Kirk. The FBI swiftly named Robinson, a 4.0 GPA student who reportedly left Utah State University and spiraled into extremist online communities. On the day of the incident, he arrived at UVU in a gray Dodge Challenger, allegedly carrying a modified Mauser 98, a family heirloom hidden in a backpack. At noon, a single explosion echoed across the event area, Kirk collapsed, and chaos erupted. Robinson fled, leaving behind DNA evidence, and surrendered 33 hours later after his family and a local pastor intervened. Charged with felony obstruction of justice, public endangerment, and witness tampering, the FBI insists he acted alone. Yet the public remains unconvinced. The narrative feels too tidy, too orchestrated. Within hours, the incident's clip racked up 10 million views on X, with hashtags like Charlie Kirk, UVU incident, and rooftop footage trending globally. Internet sleuths dissected every detail. The bullet's trajectory seemed misaligned, slow-motion footage revealed odd frames, and the choice of a heavy, outdated Mauser raised questions. How did Robinson evade security, cameras, and drones? Why did the scene feel staged? These gaps turned a tragedy into a digital war zone. At the center of this storm are two women, Erica Kirk, Charlie's widow, and Candace Owens, his former Turning Point USA colleague. Their opposing responses have transformed a personal loss into a national debate. Erica, poised and faith-driven, has chosen silence, quoting scripture and pledging to carry on Charlie's mission. Her composure, seen in viral clips from a candlelight vigil in Washington, D.C., and a memorial where she spoke of forgiveness, has polarized the public. Quoting Jesus on the cross, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do," she presented a serene image that some view as a beacon of resilience. Others see a calculated act, her steady voice and flawless appearance sparking suspicion. A clip of her closing her eyes mid-speech, viewed over 10 million times, ignited debates about whether it was genuine grief or a rehearsed moment. Her social media posts, Bible verses, family photos, and turning point updates project strength but invite scrutiny. To supporters, she's a symbol of faith in adversity. To skeptics, her silence mirrors a deeper secret, reflecting either sanctity or subterfuge depending on the lens. Candace Owens, by contrast, has charged into the fray, her podcast setting the internet ablaze with a single line. Charlie didn't die by accident. He was betrayed by the most trusted source. Her cryptic phrase, "betrayed by his pillow," was decoded as pointing to someone close to Charlie, immediately directing suspicion toward Erica. Without concrete evidence, Owens' innuendos, blurry screenshots, anonymous messages, and references to a mysterious meeting of billionaires in the Hamptons have fueled a firestorm. Her podcast soared to Spotify's top spot, with clips shared millions of times, splitting the online community. Supporters hail her as a fearless truth seeker. Critics accuse her of exploiting tragedy for attention. She's escalated her claims, alleging witnesses were silenced, documents withheld, and conservative media controlled. Her most provocative assertion, Charlie appeared in her dreams, whispering of a betrayal with global implications, tied to his criticisms of foreign policy and internal turning point tensions over Israel. The internet seized on this, with Reddit, 4chan, and Telegram forums mapping networks of power, linking donors, politicians, and media figures into a sprawling conspiracy dossier that millions are decoding. TikTok users analyze rooftop shadows, YouTube ballistics enthusiasts reconstruct trajectories, and every fragment becomes a clue in a case that refuses to close. The most chilling detail, raised by Dave Chappelle, is the absence of Charlie Kirk's parents. In a viral talk that stunned audiences, Chappelle accused the FBI of spreading false data to obscure the truth, pointing to the parents' silence as a glaring anomaly. Charlie, who often spoke of his family's values as the bedrock of his beliefs, had parents who were conspicuously absent from his memorial, the Presidential Medal of Freedom ceremony, and all public discourse. Chappelle claimed this was no accident. They were deliberately excluded, possibly silenced by legal or governmental pressure. He alleged that Erica controlled the memorial's guest list, leaving the parents out, and that they had severed ties with her after discovering she was a love trap planted to control Charlie's image and message. This revelation shocked the public. How could parents miss their son's memorial? Social media exploded, with users questioning why this detail was overlooked until Chappelle spoke up. His claim that the parents uncovered compromising evidence about Erica, coupled with their complete disappearance, has become a lightning rod for suspicion, amplifying demands for transparency. The official narrative crumbles under scrutiny. The FBI's timeline, from Robinson's identification to his surrender, feels rushed, almost rehearsed. Internet analysts argue the bullet's trajectory, entering front left and leaving debris, doesn't align with a 3006 round at 15,200 yards. Some suggest the bullet tumbled. Others point to a fluttering shirt pre-impact as evidence of an unknown force or agent. The Mauser, a 9-pound antique converted to a 3006 with a custom scope, seems an improbable choice over modern, lighter weapons. How did Robinson smuggle it past security, cameras, and drones? Online detectives have reconstructed angles, spotting a shadowy figure on the rooftop moving too smoothly, and a piece of dark fabric in viral footage that doesn't add up. Rumors of Charlie wearing a hazmat suit or signaling audio checks have morphed into conspiracy fodder. The scene was cleaned up too quickly, witness testimonies are sparse, and video metadata shows signs of manipulation, fueling claims of selective transparency reminiscent of historical cover-ups like the JFK assassination. Erica Kirk's actions have only deepened the mystery. Hours after Charlie's death, she appeared before cameras, her hair impeccable, her voice steady, thanking supporters and vowing to lead Turning Point USA. Her speech at the Presidential Medal of Freedom ceremony, where she called Charlie's death a victory for freedom, struck many as performative, especially when paired with a viral hug with former President Trump, who awarded Charlie the medal posthumously. The embrace, too comfortable for some, looked like a political stunt, further dividing public opinion. Then came the leaks. A $350,000 wire transfer to Erica's account 2 weeks before the incident, traced to a Delaware shell company dissolved days after the transaction. An internal Turning Point email, allegedly signed by Erica, referenced sponsor visibility issues at the Utah event, suggesting she approved it despite Charlie's reluctance. A mysterious man at the memorial, wearing a Turning Point security badge but unlisted in records, vanished from subsequent footage. These details, combined with her curated social media presence, Bible verses, family photos, and little else, paint her as either a grieving widow or a pawn in a larger scheme, depending on the viewer. Candace Owens has kept the pressure relentless, revealing that someone within Turning Point warned Charlie not to attend the event, hinting at a setup. She disputed the FBI's claim that Robinson's father turned him in, pointing to a sting operation instead. Most shockingly, she cited Robinson's partial paralysis in his right leg, making the high-speed rooftop escape in FBI footage physically impossible. Old videos of Robinson limping surfaced online, bolstering her case. Owens's claim that Erica knows exactly who approved the event has shifted suspicion back to her, with leaked Turning Point management logs showing her digital signature on last-minute event changes. A former Turning Point employee, speaking anonymously, revealed that security arrangements were altered hours before the event. Cameras moved, exits locked, and a new access code added under Erica's authority. These revelations have split the public. Some see Erica as a victim of coercion, others as a mastermind orchestrating a cover-up. Dave Chappelle's allegations have pushed the narrative into uncharted territory. At a closed-door performance in Chicago, he hinted at Suits manipulating the narrative, suggesting Erica was installed as Turning Point's CEO overnight to control the organization after Charlie's independent streak threatened powerful interests. He claimed Charlie's parents believed Erica had ties to foreign organizations and knew the incident was coming, yet she remained in power. Their absence, he argued, was no coincidence. They were silenced to protect the truth. Social media seized on this, with X posts dividing between those defending Erica as a scapegoat and those convinced she's hiding something. A blurry video of Erica meeting two men in a Phoenix hotel bar 48 hours after Charlie's death, one allegedly linked to a private intelligence firm with ties to the Department of Homeland Security, added fuel. The clip was removed within hours, citing privacy, but copies spread, showing her tense body language as if under pressure. The internet has become a relentless detective, piecing together fragments: the warning to Charlie, the mystery man, the wire transfer, the altered security logs. Theories range from a second gunman on the rooftop to infrared devices aiding the shooter. Some claim the incident was staged, pointing to Charlie's clean shirt in early footage, though forensics debunked this. Others tie Robinson to fringe groups, citing Charlie's leaked comments on Israel as a motive. Reddit and Telegram channels buzz with speculation, mapping power networks connecting donors, politicians, and figures like Epstein and Zinn in a sprawling conspiracy. TikTok users dissect rooftop shadows, YouTube ballistics experts reconstruct trajectories, and every detail, microphone clamps, back-office signals, becomes a piece of the puzzle. The FBI stands firm, insisting Robinson acted alone, radicalized online with DNA, phone data, and physical evidence sealing the case. But 20% of the questions remain unanswered, and the public's patience is wearing thin. The rapid cleanup, sparse witness accounts, and manipulated metadata echo historical cases where selective transparency breeds distrust. The absence of Charlie's parents remains the most haunting piece. Chappelle's claim that they were excluded and silenced, possibly for uncovering Erica's role, has made their silence a symbol of hidden truth. No interviews, no statements, no presence at the memorial or medal ceremony. Body language at the latter showed them distant from Erica, exuding resentment, not grief. Speculation abounds. Were they heartbroken or threatened? Did they know something about Erica's alleged ties to power? The public's focus on Erica, Owens, and Trump overlooked this until Chappelle spoke up, making their absence a rallying cry for truth seekers. He alleged that tensions predated the incident, with the parents concerned about Erica's growing control over Charlie's schedule, events, and interactions. After his death, this escalated into a complete breakdown, with claims they discovered she was a plant to steer his message. Chappelle's bombshell that the federal government intervened in the memorial, giving Erica control over the guest list, stunned the internet, with ex-users questioning why no media outlet pursued this. The narrative has spiraled beyond a single tragedy, becoming a mirror of a fractured era. Turning Point USA has seen a surge in registrations, with new laws like North Carolina's No Amnesty Bill passed in Charlie's name. Vigils in Peru and far-right tributes in Britain have made him a global martyr. Trump's Medal of Freedom award cemented his legacy but deepened the divide. Erica's calm forgiveness clashes with Owens' fiery demands for truth, reflecting a broader rift in conservatism between tradition and populism. Social media has turned grief into content, with every gesture, Erica's hand on her daughter's head, a nod, a pause, zoomed in, edited, and debated. Tucker Carlson called the memorial the end of reason. Glenn Beck urged prayer. But Owens' slogan, "They can't bury the truth," has become a TikTok anthem, remixed by millions, turning a political cry into a cultural manifesto. The internet's obsession has transformed human suffering into a noisy stage. A man detained in the crowd, his bewildered expression captured in a viral clip, became an insider meme across TikTok and X. His identity remains unknown, yet his brief detention sparked theories of a cover-up. Why did major news outlets, with their budgets and resources, not dig deeper? Why was the scene cleared so quickly in the name of healing? The official story, a lone gunman, a clear shot, a swift arrest, feels like a scripted scenario, not a raw report. Every mismatch, from rooftop shadows to camera angles to the Mauser's weight, becomes a thread in a larger tapestry of doubt. The FBI's insistence on a closed case, backed by DNA and phone data, fails to quell the 20% of unanswered questions. The echo in viral clips, not the bang, explains some discrepancies, but the rapid cleanup and sparse witness accounts smell of control. Erica's role remains a lightning rod. Her swift rise to Turning Point's CEO, announced quietly weeks after Charlie's death, raised eyebrows. Fans called it cold, skeptics called it calculated. Leaked documents suggest she edited event plans, overriding Charlie's hesitations. A former employee's claim that security changes, moved cameras, locked exits, new access codes were made under her name, fuels theories of complicity. Yet her defenders argue she's a pawn, coerced by forces above her. Her calm a mask for exhaustion. The mysterious Phoenix video, showing her tense with two unidentified men, hints at pressure, not power. The wire transfer, the unlisted security badge, the internal emails, all point to a matrix of influence where Erica is either victim or orchestrator. Candace Owens has weaponized doubt. Her "truth doesn't need permission" mantra printed on shirts, mugs, and bios across X. Her claims of silenced witnesses and controlled media resonate with a public weary of institutional narratives. She's linked Charlie's death to his Israel comments, suggesting ideological clashes within Turning Point's leadership. While no hard evidence supports her, the internet thrives on fragments, turning her hints into a global dossier. Chappelle, meanwhile, has become a wild card, his Chicago quip about Suits picking the wrong comedian spreading like wildfire. Rumors swirl of a documentary or new witness, with cameras trailing him like he holds a national secret. His focus on the parents' absence has shifted the narrative, making their silence a void where theories flourish. This case is more than a death. It's a reflection of how tragedy becomes content. Social media's algorithms amplify every clip, from Erica's memorial speech to the rooftop footage, turning pain into views. The public doesn't seek answers. It craves the fight. Theories proliferate. A second shooter, infrared aids, a staged event. Some tie Robinson to religious or underground groups, others to political vendettas. The FBI's closed case feels like a wall, not a resolution, echoing historical distrust in official narratives. Turning Point's growth, new laws, and global tributes show Charlie's voice is louder in death, but the battle between Erica's silence and Owen's noise reveals a deeper truth. Compassion loses to clicks. The parents' absence remains the unanswered heart of the story. Chappelle's claim that they were silenced, possibly for knowing Erica's true role, haunts the narrative. Their lack of interviews, statements, or social media presence, unusual for a family so tied to Charlie's public persona, fuels speculation of a gag order or deeper conflict. Were they excluded to protect a secret, or did they step back in grief? Their distance from Erica at the medal ceremony, exuding coldness, suggests a rift too raw for public display. The internet, now a detective, demands their story, but their silence speaks louder than any hashtag. This is a story of faith versus doubt, silence versus noise, truth versus narrative. Erica's calm, Owen's fire, and the parents' absence reflect a society grappling with trauma in an age of endless information. The bullet's path is physical, but the story bends to the public's will. Pause before sharing, listen before judging. The truth lies not in viral clips or hashtags, but in the gaps between Erica's composure, Owen's accusations, and the parents' haunting silence. Verify, empathize, question. Who benefits from the fog? The Charlie Kirk case is a mirror of our times, where every tragedy has an audience and pain is currency. Stay vigilant, demand hashtag "We want justice for Charlie Kirk," and let the truth find its voice in the silence. Voice in the silence. Voice in the silence.